Welcome. My name is Zaya, and this is a practice that I created for Ann, who loves a strong practice, but has an old knee injury that flares up during flowing practices. And so this practice has cut out most lunges. There's a few in there. There is a lot of core strength here and a lot of chest openers. When I asked Ann to send me a list of her favorite and least favorite postures, I saw a theme that she really loves. She really loves those chest openers. So we'll be playing with backbends today. You'll need 2 blocks, a blanket, and 2 cushions from your bed or from your couch. And please modify or make changes as we go along to keep yourself safe and have fun. Be in touch if you would like a practice especially designed for you. And for now, I'll meet you in just a moment on your practice space. Here we go. Let's begin in reclined bound angle, or Supta Baddha Konasana. You can take 1 block on its low setting and a 2nd block behind it on its middle setting. Take your blanket and pad the shorter block in front. That's where your upper back will rest and your head will rest on this block here. You can grab a couple of cushions to support you as you butterfly your legs apart, unless you want the stretch of having your legs fall towards the ground without the support. So go ahead and bring your upper back to the first block. And you want that first block to rest right at the back of your shoulder blades, with your shoulders rolling off the back of the block so that your chest opens. Adjust the block underneath your head so you feel comfortable here, and then take your arms out to the sides. Take a big deep breath in and a full exhale out. Deep breath in. Full exhale out. One more round. And then bring your arms across your chest, giving yourself a hug. Breathe into your upper back. And reach your arms back behind you. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Big full body stretch. With a full body breath. Take your hands by your sides. Press yourself up. Come to a seat. You can move your cushions out of the way. And place your folded blanket underneath your sit bones. With 1 block on either side of you, go ahead and take your left foot in front of your right. Now, if this is just too uncomfortable, you can cross your ankles, but if you're able to, see if you can have a nice wide stance and then bend your knees deeply and encourage your shins to come towards the ground. And from here, we'll take our left hand to the left block, reach the right arm up. Push your left hand into the block to help rainbow arch your spine. Inhale, reach your right arm back behind you, open your chest. And exhale, fold down towards your left thigh. One more time. And exhale towards your left thigh, and then go ahead and bring your hands down to the ground and walk to the center of the shape, coming into a forward fold over the legs. Rise up, stand on your left foot with your heel in line with the front of the right ankle, and take your left arm forward. You can bring your pointer finger and your thumb together, and then squeeze your arm and your leg towards each other. And we'll inhale, right arm reaches forward, up, and back. Exhale, rewind. One more time. Rewind. And this time, open up and wrap your right forearm across your low back. Roll your shoulder back. Take a big deep breath in. Full exhale out. And then inhale, come out of the twist. And switch the legs, bringing your right ankle in front of your left. Right hand can come down to your block. Left arm reaches towards the sky. And then push into your standing arm to rainbow arch your spine. We'll inhale, open the chest, wave your left arm back. Exhale, round towards your right thigh. One more time. And then go ahead and rest your hands to the ground. Walk to the center of the pose and take a forward fold. Press into your hands and rise up. Stand on your right foot. Reach your your right arm forward. Bring your pointer finger and thumb together. And then connect strongly between arm and leg. Left arm reaches forward, up, and back. Exhale, rewinds that to the starting position. One more time. And then open up here again, this time taking left forearm across the low back, rolling left shoulder back. Good, and unwind. You can take your blocks to the front of your space. And we're going to move to tabletop. If you need padding underneath your knees, just unfold your blanket and place it underneath your shins. Moving into cat-cow, let's connect with the breath as we move in and out of a back bend. So inhaling takes you into the back bend, and exhaling takes you out of it. Find a rounded spine here. And take the entire inhale to grow into your back bend. And the entire exhale to round. One more time. Good. We're going to inhale, come to neutral, curl the toes under, and on your exhale, hover your knees off of the mat. Think about squeezing your arms back towards your thighs and your thighs towards your arm. Take a big deep breath in, and on your exhale, draw your belly button towards your low back. Try to keep all of this strength and extend the front of your heart forward. And exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll inhale forward into plank and exhale into down dog. One more time, forward into plank and exhale into down dog. Let's walk our feet to the top of the mat. Take a forward fold, hands onto your blocks or to the ground, whatever feels more comfortable to reach. And you can just say hello to your feet here. We won't be spending too much attention focusing on the alignment of the legs today, so maybe we just take a moment now to connect with the legs with our hands or with our eyes, appreciating their role in providing us with a strong foundation. And on your inhale, press into the floor, your shins, or the thighs for a halfway lift. Take a few breaths here, rolling the shoulders back, extending the heart forward, and see if you can do that while keeping your chin slightly tucked. And then go ahead and exhale, come back into your forward fold. Push through your feet and come to rise, reaching your arms overhead. On your exhale, take your hands to heart center. Take a big deep breath in. And exhale, move your belly button back towards your low back so that your tail grows a little bit longer. And then with your hands on your heart, go ahead and press your chest into your thumbs and to find length in your waistline as you start to orient your heart towards the ceiling. Stay here, or if you like, reach your arms back as well. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank and lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big deep breath in. And a full exhale out. Deep breath in. Full exhale out. One more round of breath. And we'll inhale, reach the heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, hop, and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep fold, release your head. Inhale, push through the feet, rise. Strong belly as you reach the heart up and back. Exhaling, chair pose. Let's interlace the fingers back behind the back. Open the chest. And dive forward, forward fold, dropping the head, lifting the fist. Reach your hands to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump or step back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's bring the knees to the ground and take the blocks on their middle setting about shoulder width apart. We're going to be moving into a variation of happy puppy pose. We're going to be working specifically on opening the heart space, the front of the heart, while attempting to stay strong in the foundation of our belly and in our shoulders. A tricky thing to do. So let's bring our elbows to the blocks, extend your arms forward, walk your knees back. And one of the big things that will be helpful for you here is to think about length. So extend your hands, your fingertips towards the space in front of you, and your hips towards the space behind you. And then go ahead and exhale and just allow your chest to sink towards the ground. And on your next exhale, we'll draw the belly button towards the low back. And on your next exhale, we'll really strongly push the arms into the block. So you start to get strength around the upper back and armpits. Now, can you keep all of that strength and again invite the heart down towards the floor? It might not be as big of a movement this time. And we'll take this alignment with us into down dog. So bending at the elbows to shift forward, walking the knees forward, and then taking your blocks to the top of your mat again. All right, downward facing dog. So here, just like we did in Happy Puppy, let your chest sink down towards the ground and back towards your shins. And then exhale, draw your belly button towards your low back. Keep that. Next exhale, press your arms into the floor very strongly and try to squeeze your arms towards each other. Now, keep the belly, keep the arms, and exhale a little bit of weight into the chest. Good, and we'll hold this one more breath. And inhale, heels go high. Exhale, bend your knees, hop or step. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep fold. Reach up to the sky, little back bend if you would like here. And take your hands to heart center. Good. Mountain pose. Hands by your sides. And just take a moment to feel the broadness of your chest. And I sometimes, during backbending practices, I like to think of the heart space like a balloon that's full of helium. And you can feel that here, this lift. But balloons usually have strings attached to them that tether them to the earth. And so we have that too, embedded in our anatomy. A lot of roots from our heart that reach down the belly and into the pelvis and eventually into the feet. So as the heart space rises, can you feel that connection to the earth? We'll inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose again. This time, let's bring our upper arm bones by our ears, lift our chest towards the ceiling. Maybe sit back into your hips a little bit more. And then spring through your legs, a little bit of a back bend here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Finding those strong arms again, strong belly, and expansion through the chest. Let's inhale, right leg up. Take the right hip on top of the left and bend your knee. Straighten through your right leg. Take a big deep breath in as you square your hips. And exhale, knee to nose. Round the spine. Inhale, three-legged dog. 2 more times like that. And then step your right foot between your hands and bring your back knee to the ground. We'll inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And just like we did in our standing mountain pose and then in chair, we're going to really root down into our foundation. So squeeze the low belly towards the low back, push down into your right foot and into your left knee. And then feel the helium balloon of your heart space. And from here, take your upper arm bones back. And we're going to start to lean back without letting the chest sink. So keep that helium balloon lifting towards the ceiling. And if this is hard on your neck, just give yourself some support with your hands like this. Then we'll take our hands to the ground, tuck the left toes, pick up the back knee, and step your right foot back, plank pose. We'll take our right hand forward, come to the pinky edge of our right foot, and left arm reaches to the sky. And then can you press into whatever's touching the floor to lift your hips, lift your ribs. Take a big deep breath in. And exhale, left hand comes down. Other side, left hand comes a little bit forward. Come to the pinky edge of your left foot. Right arm reaches towards the sky. Press into the ground to lift. And bring your right hand down. And we'll take a big deep breath in. And exhale, downward facing dog. From your strong down dog, lift your left leg up, left hip on top of right, bend into your left knee. We'll straighten the left leg, square the hips, deep breath in. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, reach it up, knee to nose. One more time. And step your left foot forward, right knee to the ground. Okay, strong foundation. Helium balloon heart, nice and light, nice and buoyant. Then explore your back bend. We'll take our hands to the ground, pick up the back knee, and step into plank pose. Okay, keeping really strong through your low belly. Let's take the right forearm to the ground and then the left forearm to the ground. And then the left hand comes back to the ground and the right hand comes back to the ground. Left forearm to the ground. Right forearm to the ground. Right hand to the ground. Left hand to the ground. Good. Push off of your toes, shift forward, and lower all the way to your belly. Come to Sphinx pose, resting on your forearms. Elbows a little bit in front of your shoulders. All right, so your toes are untucked and reaching back behind you. Roll the shoulders back and lift your chest up and forward. And then exhale, tuck the chin towards the chest, round the upper back. And inhale, look back up and open the front of the chest. You are welcome to continue just like this. If you would like a little bit more of a core challenge, you're going to push into your elbows as you tuck your chin, pick up your pelvis, and then very slowly, maybe over a couple of breath cycles, you'll lower yourself back down and open your chest. You can make this a little bit harder on yourself by tucking your chin and picking everything up off of the ground. And then slowly unfurling back to your Sphinx pose. So if you choose that last variation, your toenails stay on the ground, so you're not tucking your toes under. And it requires a really deep and special and unique kind of strength, especially if you're really slowly lowering yourself down instead of quickly moving through that transition. Let's take a break. Lay down on your belly, stack your hands, bring your forehead to your hands and rest. Good. And we're going to bring our hands back by our waistline with our elbows bent. So it's like we've just lowered from chaturanga. We're going to curl our toes under, straighten the knees. Take a big deep breath in. And on your exhale, push the floor away from you. High plank and down dog. And we'll inhale, heels go high. Exhale, bend your knees. Hop or step, top of mat, and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep fold. Press down into your feet, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Mountain pose. All right, step wide onto your mat, and if you want to use your blocks for your triangle pose or for your half moon pose, which we'll get to in just a moment, then go ahead and grab those on either side of your mat. Okay, so let's start by swiveling the right toes out to the side. We're going to do half moon eventually, so back up on your mat if there's a wall or something in front of your space here. We're going to bend into the right leg, take the arms out wide, and here we are in warrior two. Let's inhale, straighten through the left leg, and as you exhale, come through center and push out warrior two, and inhale back up. Now these can be as shallow or as deep of warrior twos as you like. If you'd like it deeper, just spread your feet out a little bit more and bend really deeply into that knee, so long as you don't experience any tweaking there. Good. And then the next time you push out, go ahead and stay. Peaceful warrior, reach your right arm up. And then straighten through your front leg. We'll move into triangle pose. Reach your front arm forward and down to the block or to the ground. And left arm reaches to the sky. Now let's press very strongly into that back foot as we reach our lifted arm overhead, finding a side bend stretch in triangle. This is so lovely. I highly recommend staying here, but because there was a request for some strengthening through the core, we're going to play with getting lighter in our standing arm, perhaps bringing that hand to the chest or reaching out to the side. And we'll take one more breath. Set that right hand down and rise. Exhale, warrior two. All right, heel toe the left leg in a little bit. Coming into half moon pose, bring your right hand to the floor or onto a block and lift your left leg up. Lots of energy out through that leg. You're welcome to stay here or with your left arm raised, or you can take a candy cane shape, grabbing a hold of the front of the ankle and pressing back the knee. Kick your foot into your hand to help open your chest. And then extend out through your leg. Release the hand off of the ankle. Bend into your standing leg and softly place your left foot on the floor behind you, warrior two. And then straighten through that leg, swivel forward, wide-legged forward fold. Take a few deep breaths here. Allow the tension from your jaw and lips to go. And then take your hands to your hips, press into your feet and rise. We'll take warrior two to the other side. And inhale, straighten up through your legs and your arms, reach through center, and then exhale as you push out again. then the next time you push out, go ahead and stay, and we'll come into peaceful warrior. And then straighten through your front leg, triangle pose. Again, let's find the anchoring of the back foot into the ground. Reach your right arm overhead. Feel free to stay here or play along as you take left arm up and out. And rise up, making our way into half moon. Left hand to the ground, right leg comes up. Feel free to stay here. Or bend your lifted leg and kick your foot into your hand, candy cane. Stretch that leg back out, lift your arm up, and make a slow transition back to warrior two. Straighten out through both legs, swivel your front toes forward, take a big deep breath in, and exhale, forward fold. Swivel around to the left side, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And bring your shins to the ground. You can take your blocks with you. We're about to move to camel pose. So some folks prefer to do camel the whole time with their hands on their sacrum. Others bring their hands to blocks, and others would bring their hands directly to their heels. So go ahead and find a variation that works for you. Okay, so rooting down into the shins, into every toenail, pressing the feet down. Let's take our arms forward and open up wide, and then palms to the sacrum. Squeeze the elbows towards one another. And then exhale, firm your belly. Inhale, lift your heart space up. Feel the buoyancy of your heart. And shift your pelvis forward. And see if you can shift your pelvis forward without letting your heart collapse. And then from here, perhaps you take your hands down. Then slowly come up. And sit back to your heels, hero's pose. You can take your blocks, or one or both blocks underneath your seat here between your ankles, and just pause. Feeling the effervescence of the back bend practice. And take a breath or two more, focusing on the exhales, bringing the energy down. Beautiful. Let's make our way into downward facing dog again. Rooting into your hands, rooting into your feet, pressing up and back with your hips. And we'll inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. And inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming back down to the knees, we'll take our blanket and create a little bolster by rolling it up. And placing this roll right underneath the heart space on the actual stomach area, so upper belly. And from here, you're welcome to stay in this sort of supported Sphinx pose. If you'd like to move on, you can bend your knees and grab a hold of your ankles. We're going to kick our feet back into our hands to really open the chest. Deepen the back bend from the legs. And then can you squeeze your shoulder blades a little bit towards each other and tuck your chin just a touch. And 3 deep breaths. And release down, put your hands to the ground and press yourself back. And we'll come into a supported child's pose, big toes together, knees wide. Bring your forehead and your arms to your blanket roll. And we'll rest here, a few deep breaths. And go ahead and rise up. And we're going to make our way into a seated forward fold. And you can grab as many props as you like here. Perhaps a blanket underneath your bottom. Some blocks to rest your forehead on, or maybe some pillows. So to begin, let's make our way into staff pose. Pressing your hands towards the ground. And here we are again, rooting down towards the earth, even as the chest rises. And then hinging at the hips, drawing the belly button up and forward to take yourself into a forward fold. And if you need to at any point, sit back up into staff pose and find the length of your spine again, redraping over the legs. Otherwise, use your exhales to deepen into the fold, to release the effort through the body, especially through the jaw, the shoulders. And let's take about 3 more deep breaths. Good, and rise up. All right, from here we're going to lie down onto our backs and move into a bridge practice. So bending the knees deeply. Let's place the arms in a bent position so the palms are facing one another. The upper arms are right by your sides. And go ahead and press your upper arms and shoulder blades into the ground pretty strongly, and observe how your chest starts to sort of draw up towards the ceiling. Your upper back might even arc away from the ground. And then release the effort of your arms and feel as the back of your heart sinks towards the earth. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, press into your arms, open your chest towards the ceiling. And exhale, sink the back of your heart towards the earth. We're going to press into our elbows and into our feet to lift up into bridge pose. Use the back of your arms to pick the back of your heart away from the ground. And then place your palms lightly on either side of your hips. And we're not trying to hold our hips in place here. We're just noticing where they are in space. And without letting them move at all, try to keep them very steady. We're going to extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Take a big deep breath in. And exhale, set your right foot down, steady through the hips as the left leg reaches up. Deep breath in. And exhale, bend the left leg down. We're going to bring both feet strongly into the ground. Reach your arms overhead. Rest your arms behind you. And then very slowly bring the back of the heart to the earth. And then lay each vertebra down at a time, from your mid-back all the way down to your tailbone. Take your time to slowly arrive. And then bring the bottoms of your feet together, your knees wide. Grab a hold of opposite elbow. 3 full torso breaths here. So as you inhale, think about filling from your pelvis, through your belly, ribs, chest, even your armpits. And then exhale, let it all go. 2 more like that. Return your knees back towards the ceiling. Bring your hands by your sides. We'll move into bridge one more time. Go ahead and inhale. Lift the hips up. Open the chest towards the ceiling. And this time, let's walk the upper arms underneath the back and see if your fingertips can touch your heels. And if it doesn't feel like too much of a strain at all on your low back, then walk your feet in a little closer so that you can grab a hold of your ankles. And then once you've got a hold of your ankles, press your hips towards the sky.
Now, alternatively, if this isn't a good position for you, simply interlace your fingers behind your back. And wherever you're working, 2 more breaths. And you'll release your hands. If you've walked your feet back towards your shoulders, go ahead and bring them forward again. We'll take the arms up overhead, and like we did the first time, roll down really slowly from the back of your heart resting into the earth to bringing your mid back down, 1 vertebra at a time. Your low back down. And then bring the bottoms of your feet together, your knees wide. Grab onto opposite elbows. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Deep breath in. Full breath out. One more time. Good. And then we'll bring our knees together. Take your arms out by your sides, close to your hips, but they can be a little bit just casually out to the sides here. And we're going to begin to do some pelvic tilts. So as you exhale, press your low back to the ground and tuck your tailbone. And as you inhale, untuck your tailbone and arc your low back away from the floor, stretching your belly. And this is really therapeutic to the low back. And as we start to relax our effort from the practice, you'll notice that your head might just be relaxed enough to go along for the ride of your pelvis, your chin bobbling forward and back. Good, and then hug your knees into your chest. And you can take happy baby pose here if you would like. A couple more of those big torso breaths, inhaling through the belly, ribs, and chest. And exhaling, letting it all go. And we'll make our way into supine twist. Go ahead and bring your arms out to the sides. Take your shins parallel to the ground and drop your legs over to the right. Roll your head to the left. Press your hands into the ground. Bring your knees back up. Bring your legs to the left. Look to the right. Come back to center. You can hug your knees into your chest again one more time. Perhaps on your exhale, hug your forehead towards your knees. Give yourself a big squeeze. And then we're going to rest down into Shavasana. We're going to honor Ann's request to not do too much in the way of Shavasana. So a brief lying down on the back so that your heart space can actually settle down and really feel the earth below it, right? We've been doing all of this helium balloon heart action, lifting and rising, and now it's time for your heart space to settle. And feel that broad earth beneath it. And you can imagine 2 river stones, one in each palm, and heated by the sun, so they're really warm. And the warmth of these stones is penetrating the skin on your hands and warming your palms. Allow the warmth to travel up your arms and into your chest, softening your heart. And from your heart, the warmth pulls outward over your shoulders, into your belly, into your pelvis, into your legs, so that your entire body becomes warmed and softened by these imaginary river stones. Inviting you to deeply rest into the earth's support. And slowly stretch through your palms and your fingers. Stretch out through your toes. Reach your arms back behind you. Big full body stretch. Roll onto one side. Press your hands into the ground and come up to a seat. Please grab some props here to support you in a comfortable cross-legged position. And we're going to end this practice with a really vital acupressure point to help the heart feel held. So that was a lot of opening up. And we're going to be stimulating this point right here, just a little bit away from the wrist crease and right in the center of your forearm. And we're just going to press this spot, resting our arm in our lap. And if that's hard to reach, you can just grab another prop and give your arm something to rest in. So this point stimulates the meridian that connects to the pericardium, which wraps our heart. So after such a big heart opening practice, we're going to be stimulating the pericardium as a way to contain the heart and create a little bit of closure.
And with that, let's bring our hands together, rub our palms together, create some heat, and place warm, loving hands over the front of our heart. And as we close practice, I invite you to consider an intention for the next phase of your day. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.